Got an unscheduled stop here, Able City, Burbank. This week, the Amira number 1 started throwing an error on set. Of course, it's not doing it right now. It's intermittent. Oh, there it goes. Nope. Come on. Well, it's fan 1 error. And then what happens is, it seems like the sensor's stable point, happy place where it is all the time is 40 degrees Celsius. Well, we got fan 1 error. We're shooting outdoors. It was 100 degrees, cameras in direct sunlight, and that sensor temp started climbing up. I think it hit 50 C. And we were getting this intermittent fan 1 error. So obviously I got a fan that's on the way out. And then what would happen is there's a very subtle green cast, just a tint shift in the image. Fortunately, no other artifacts, no noise or digital issues that we could see, just a minor tint shift, which was easy to correct in post. I was shooting 2 cameras, so it was very clear one was off, but easy to match to the other. But at any rate, I'm gonna drop it off here at service. Now this camera, so frustrating. This is my first Amira. Got it in 2014. How many hours? This is my camera that lives up here in Los Angeles. But hours, so this had 0 hours when I bought it, 2014. 2643 on the hours. So these things need a sensor calibration about once a year. It's got to go into a service center, and then just a general evaluation. I think it's about 3 hours of billable time. So back in late February 2020, we dropped this one off for service at RE Burbank, and then the lockdown happened. I was supposed to pick the camera up the week the lockdown hit, and long short of it is, it was held hostage for 5 months. I couldn't even pull it without service. It was just a no-go, and that killed me. Even though there was very little work going on during the lockdown, I lost out on about $15,000 in revenue / expenses, because I had some shoots where I had to sub-rent an Amira to cover for mine that was in, and then just other stuff I had to turn away, dry rentals, because I didn't have a camera. So anyway, I'm fearful that's going to happen again, so I'm going to try Able this time, and I'm hoping their tech can swap out a fan and it doesn't have to go over to Burbank. Now I will say, I'm not blaming RE, I mean, pandemic and all, but they also have an annual warranty program where I think it's about $3,500 a year per camera. If you pay that, a lot of the common fail points are covered, no charge, and also for all service you get expedited service. You get moved to the top of the queue. So I think that's what all the rental houses do wisely, but I was like, that's a big commitment for me, times 2 cameras. Spending say $6,000 a year for a service plan. All right, here goes. All right, so that's going in for service. I'm going to move this lens over to my other body, and then this is going to go off on a sub rental. It's going to get prepped this afternoon. Lockdown madness. Do not cross this line. Different times. Well, here it is. You work a day or two and enough equipment needs service or replacement. End up spending what you earned, possibly more this go around. So picked up 4 more HyperCore minis to replace my failing 190 watt hour Comer batteries. These are an experiment. I went from Anon Bauer Dionics to these D&O lighting boys. Got a couple years out of them. They're all right. They're pretty light. They're quite a bit lighter than my B for bees. These are from 2014. Bought these to power the Amira. They can handle the extra wattage. It's amazing they're still going. 2014. I don't power the camera with them anymore. They just don't last. You get like 20 minutes if you're lucky now, but they're great for lights and little monitors. They continue to chug along. So I don't know. I'll test this guy out and see if it still has enough oomph to power little accessories, and if not, it will get recycled. But this is my new battery of choice. From what I'm told, Able sells more of these than any other battery type. Hypercore Mini, 98 watt hours, airline friendly, can carry on an unlimited quantity, and they are smaller than my old Dionic 90s and pretty light, and I get 40 minutes on the Amira, no accessories, per brick, and I could get about 90 with a 190. What's interesting is a 150 watt Anton Bauer is quite a bit more runtime than a 190 Comair. So I think they're overly optimistic with their wattage rating, or the cells just can't handle the 65 watts that the camera draws. Okay, so when you're in Burbank, California, burning your month's income at film tools with impulse buys, be sure to walk across the street to Santoro's and order a large pastrami with everything. My good friend Patrick from Warner Brothers, longtime producer, introduced me to Santoro's many, many years ago. Saturday, 7 a.m. A return visit to my former neighborhood of 20 years. Beautiful Laguna Niguel. This development that we lived in is kind of interesting considering the price point today. When it was built in the 60s, late 60s, prior to the city's incorporation, and it was, I believe, the first master plan community in the United States. As well as this development was built to be affordable housing, entry-level housing. Across the valley, Mission Viejo, Foothill Ranch, Dove Canyon, and then that's Santiago Peak. I had gotten so bitter during the lockdown, and just the grind of driving up and down, north and south to San Diego and Los Angeles to work. Those commutes to random locations had taken their toll on me over the past 20 years. Soka University, across the canyon, Aliso Viejo, California. And up here, this ridge line is top of the world in Laguna Beach, California. And then following the ravine off to the left, that's Salt Creek and Aliso Beach in Laguna. So the Pacific Ocean is right there around the corner. And there's a trail that follows this ridge line all the way up to the coast, and did many laps on that trail over the years. Kids and dogs. Also incredible mountain biking right here. And then there's a paved bike trail that basically goes all the way to the mountain, Santiago Peak. And it's essentially flat, but a slight uphill towards the mountains. So it's an odd feeling sitting on this side of the camera. So my stay at the Airbnb continues. What I've discovered is just easier to make breakfast out here in the van instead of carrying everything inside, cleaning it all up and repacking it in the van each day.
Down a little bit, less rough. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay, I can.
Does it feel too high now? I wonder if we should bring that down a bit. And then you get.
Oh, Stephanie's hand.
Yeah, that's right. All right, that's a good spot where it was.
Be like that, so.
Media managing in the van while we're waiting on lunch. Day 8 on the ground in California, in my home market, beautiful San Clemente, California. Affectionately known as a military drinking town with a surfing problem. Another beautiful place to exist in California. The difficulty with San Clemente is it's kind of a far drive from all the hubs of employment. So we're doing GoPro stuff today. I'm more of an audio tech today than camera. But we got 4 GoPros. I'm shooting some inserts with the FX9. And then I gotta wrangle 4 mics, and I think I just drove past our location, so we'll chat more in a bit. This has been working out quite well, having the touch and go on the top of the tool chest. It's easy to just pull over on the side of the road, unclip the camera, grab that B-roll shot, and be back on the road. And for audio today, get to 2 Zoom recorders, and I'm patching Rode mics. I was pleasantly surprised to discover the Zoom has power, phantom power, so it's able to power a lav. And then got my one Tascam lav recorder unit, and for this job I was going to buy a couple more of these, and then I realized producer today's got a Zoom recorder, and then I also have one, and they work great. It's a little bulky in the pocket, but for passengers sitting in cars, they've been easy to conceal. And another nice benefit is the Zooms, they have a lot longer runtime on a AA battery versus the Tascam's a AAA, and it burns through batteries quite quick. One item I had not considered with the pandemic is due to the lockdowns, particularly in LA County, most businesses don't have their restrooms available, like Starbucks, for example. All the restrooms are closed. So it's turned out, just for day use, the porta potty has been a lifesaver in the city. So this setup's been working quite well. We got our 4-shot center windshield, and then the passenger front seat, we're doing the cross angle. We don't have a camera for the driver because they just drive. They're not really part of the conversation. And then in each back seat, we've got a close-up single with a little self-powered LED unit. And I've been using my ultralight monitor arms, usually for camera, with a nano clamp for the lights. And those are working awesome. I think I've used these in the past also as a GoPro mount. Instead of you end up with GoPro, you end up adding like half a dozen modules to be able to articulate, pan, and tilt. Seems like there's always one axis that you can't accomplish. But the ultralight's great because obviously you can articulate in every direction, including roll. So check this out. These new HyperCore mini batteries, they've been a lifesaver on this job. Been using the USB port to charge our GoPros and lights.